Okay, so you know how we were talking about wanting to do a deep dive into AI normalization techniques?
Right, right.
Well, looks like we got our chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking over the stuff that you sent,
Okay.
and there's this new technique. It's called MixLN.
Mix LN.
Yeah, and it's getting some pretty wild results.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's maybe like break it down.
Sure.
So like what is it, for someone who doesn't work with neural networks every day?
Yeah. So I think the first thing is that it's a normalization technique.
Right.
And basically what that means is, you know how if you have a bunch of musicians all playing together,
Yeah.
you have to kind of adjust their volumes
Right.
so everyone can be heard?
Yeah.
That's kind of what normalization is like. It's like finding the right volume level
That's right.
for all the information that's flowing through the neural network.
So what happens if you don't get that right?
Well, I mean, think about it. If you've got the drums
Yeah.
way too loud,
Right.
you're not going to be able to...
The flute.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it can make the training really unstable.
Oh, wow.
Like if it's trying to learn too much too fast,
Right.
or it can go too slow if the signal's too weak.
Okay, so that's where this whole MixLN comes in, right?
Yeah,
It's supposed to be some kind of hybrid thing?
it is. It is.
How's that mixing?
So it's basically taking two other popular techniques. There's pre-LN and post-LN.
Okay.
And it's kind of combining the best of both worlds.
What are those? Like, how are they different?
Okay, so imagine like learning a new language.
Okay.
Pre-LN is kind of like if you were to focus on all the grammar rules first,
Right.
really structured, really stable,
Uh-huh.
but it can be pretty slow going.
Right.
And then on the other hand, you've got post-LN, which
Yeah.
is more like just jumping into conversations.
Right.
You learn really fast,
Right.
but you're going to make some mistakes along the way.
Yeah, totally.
So mix-LN is kind of that sweet spot in between.
So it's like finding a nice balance between those two.
Yeah.
So it's more stable than post-LN, but faster than pre-LN.
Exactly, yeah. And that's really important.
Right.
Because in the MarkTech Post article that you sent,
Yeah.
it was talking about how one of the big challenges in this area
Uh-huh.
is finding that balance.
Between, what was it again?
It's between training stability
Right.
and then how well the model actually performs.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, you want it to be stable,
Right.
but you also want it to actually give you good results.
So what kind of results are we seeing with MixLN?
It's honestly pretty impressive. Like, they're using it for things like machine translation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then also language modeling.
Okay, so what does that mean, for someone like me?
Well, I mean, think about those translation apps you use on your phone. Like, imagine if it could translate from English to Mandarin,
Yeah.
just like that, in real time, perfectly accurate.
Wow.
That's what this kind of thing could lead to.
Wow, that's why.
Yeah, and then also the language modeling. Right.
That's like getting AI to understand and generate human language.
Okay.
Think about chatbots that can hold a conversation. Or write different creative text formats like poems, codes, scripts, musical pieces, emails, letters.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, faster and more accurate AI, that sounds...
Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, what's the catch? It sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, I mean, of course, research is ongoing.
Yeah.
There might be some situations where other techniques work better.
Right.
It's all still being explored.
That makes sense.
But the results so far are definitely promising.
Okay, so if MixLN can do all this cool stuff with language,
Yeah.
what else could it do?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, like what other AI challenges could benefit from this kind of approach?
I think that's something we all need to be thinking about
Yeah.
because AI is constantly evolving.
Right.
And breakthroughs like MixLN are pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It really is an exciting time.
It is. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking us on this deep dive into MixLN.
Of course.
I've got a lot to think about now.
That's what we like to hear.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.